Week 3 is on the horizon, and things are already heating up in the AFC East as the Buffalo Bills get set to host the Miami Dolphins on Thursday Night Football. The stakes? Pretty high. The atmosphere? Electric. The opponent? Well, let's just say Miami's coming in with more questions than answers, and the Bills have a golden opportunity to put their divisional rivals in a deeper hole than they're already in. Let's start with the context. Buffalo is sitting comfortably at 2-0, coming off solid wins over Baltimore and New York. Miami? Doys. 2 losses, including a tough one to the Colts, and then falling flat again last week against the Patriots. To make matters worse for the Dolphins, there's noise coming out of South Florida. Locker room, tension, finger-pointing, and even whispers that Mike McDaniel's job could be on the line. Yeah, we're not even out of September, and the hot seat is heating up. There was already a players-only meeting after Week 1. That's not normal. You don't do that unless things are already spiraling. So here's where it gets juicy. This game isn't just about wins and losses. It could be the breaking point for Miami. If the Bills take care of business Thursday night, Miami could be looking at a coaching change during that extended break from Thursday to Monday. That mini-bye could become the window for Miami to blow things up. The Dolphins are teetering, and the Bills have the chance to knock them off completely. Now let's talk about Tua Tagovailoa. 27 years old, former top 5 pick, entering a critical stretch of his career. And through 2 games, it's been a mixed bag. He's completing an impressive 73% of his passes, thrown for 499 yardas, 3 touchdowns, but also 3 interceptions. That's not the kind of ratio you want from your franchise quarterback. And when you dig into the advanced numbers, it gets even more concerning. His EPA per drawback is negative 0.15, 29th in the league. He's pushing the ball deep, with a 16% deep throw rate that ranks 4th in the league, but a lot of the old reliable stuff isn't working. His first read throw percentage is just 62%, which is way off from his usual mark north of 70. Time to throw is up to 2.41 seconds this year compared to 2.21 last season. And here's the red flag. Turnover-worthy throws? Over 7%. That's number 1 in the NFL, and not in a good way. That's not a fluke. It's a pattern through 2 weeks. And even though his completion percentage is high and his receivers aren't dropping passes, the pressure is rattling him. He's only facing pressure on 20% of dropbacks, which is low, but over half the time he is pressured, he's taking a sack. 53% of pressures turning into sacks is outrageous. That's not just bad, that's worse than the league kind of bad. You compare that to a normal quarterback who's taking sacks on 15 or 20% of pressures, and you start to see the real issue. Now, what does this mean for Buffalo? It means you get Tua off his spot, you get him flustered, and you can break this Dolphins offense wide open. He's a rhythm guy. He needs timing. He needs structure. When it breaks down, so does he. So the key? Disrupt that rhythm. Show him post-snap looks to take away the first read. Make him hesitate. Force him to move off his spot. Make him throw late. That's where the turnovers come. That's where the opportunities come. But Tua isn't the only piece to this Miami offense. Enter Devon Achane. This guy is the center of their attack right now. 18 carries. Quator's targets. He's leading the team in both. That tells you everything. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle might be the bigger names, but Achane is the volume guy. He's explosive, he's shifty, and he's getting all the work. The next closest player in carries? Malik Washington, a slot receiver with Quattro. That's a massive gap. The Dolphins clearly don't trust anyone else in the backfield right now, and it shows. If you're Buffalo, that's where the attention shifts. Take away Achane. Hit him early, bottle up the outside runs, and be ready for the swing passes and screens. Because while he can hurt you, he's also small and has struggled with injuries. You limit his impact, you're forcing Miami to lean harder on a quarterback who's already having trouble. And don't sleep on the Bills Mafia. This is a Highmark Stadium primetime game. Miami already struggles with procedural issues, false starts, delay of games, illegal shifts. Add in a loud and rowdy Buffalo crowd, and you might get some free penalties just by turning up the volume. That crowd noise is going to matter. Big time. Now about this Dolphins offensive line. It's a mess. Injuries have gutted them. Their original right guard and right tackle, both on injured reserve. Their left tackle is a second-year player getting his first full season of starting reps. Their left guard is a rookie who's already been shaky through 2 games. The center, Aaron Brewer, is a good fit for the scheme, but might not even be available. And then the right side of the line, it's makeshift. A developmental tackle playing at guard and a backup caliber tackle thrown into a starting role. The Bills' defensive front has a real chance to feast. Get after Tua, collapse the pocket, and you're going to force mistakes. As for Miami's weapons, we know what Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle can do. The speed is dangerous. But outside of them, it gets thin fast. Malik Washington is a promising young slot receiver, and Nick Westbrook-Ikine adds a little size. But it's a drop-off. At tight end, they've barely used the position. Julian Hill is the main guy, but production is non-existent. Darren Waller might be in a mix, but he's coming off the couch and might not even suit up. The only real threat outside of a chain and the 2-star wideout is Alec Ingold, the fullback, who plays a role in their blocking and occasionally gets involved. So the blueprint is simple. Shut down a chain. Disrupt Tua's rhythm. Force Miami into passing downs behind a beat-up offensive line. That's how you bury a team. And let's be honest, this Dolphins team already looks like it's unraveling. The body language is bad. The communication is worse. If you're the Bills, this is the time to step on their necks. This game isn't just about moving to Tracero. It's about burying a division rival. It's about ending any early season hope that Miami has of turning things around. And for a team that looks lost, both offensively and emotionally, this Thursday night game might just be the final straw. Now let's flip it and look at how the Bills' offense matches up against a Miami defense that's been, to put it mildly, a disaster through 2 games. This group is allowing 33 points per game. That's tied for second worst in the league. They've given up 33 in both matchups so far, and it's not just the scoreboard that's alarming. They're dead last in EPA per play, dead last in EPA per pass, and near the bottom in stopping the run. It's been ugly. This is not a group playing with confidence, cohesion, or clarity. They look like a unit that's scrambling for answers. What's even more concerning for Miami is that defense was supposed to be their safety net. They brought in Anthony Weaver, a guy with experience and pedigree, but nothing has clicked. They've been gashed by both veteran quarterbacks and rookies alike. Daniel Jones picked them apart, and Drake May did it too. If those guys are having success, imagine what Josh Allen can do at home on a short week with his offense starting to hum. So where do the Bills attack? Everywhere. But let's start with this Miami secondary, because it's the soft underbelly of this defense. It's not just a talent issue, it's a chemistry issue. The corners are brand new to each other. Rasul Douglas is the number 1 guy, and while he's experienced and has good ball skills, he's not a burner and can be beaten by speed. Jack Jones is the other outside corner, and he's been a roller coaster throughout his career. He's talented but volatile on and off the field. Then you've got Jason Marshall in the slot, a rookie who's never played inside before. That's a nightmare waiting to happen. He's learning the role on the fly, and in a game like this, he's going to get targeted. At safety, they're banged up. Minkah Fitzpatrick is there and still playing at a high level, but his running mate is a question mark. They've rotated between Ashton Davis, a longtime backup, and Dante Trader, a rookie. Neither has looked like a long-term answer. So you've got miscommunication, inexperience, and guys playing out of position. That's exactly the kind of group that Josh Allen can exploit. Now factor in how aggressive this defense has been trying to compensate for their coverage problems. Miami is blitzing on 40% of dropbacks. That's top 5 in the league. But the irony is that even with all that pressure, they're still not generating stops. Why? Because teams are getting the ball out quick, identifying the mismatches, and attacking the soft spots in coverage. And that's what Josh Allen and Ken Dorsey are going to do. Whether it's working the middle against Tyrell Dotson in coverage or attacking the second safety, there are clear matchups that the Bills can win. But even though this secondary is beatable, the front 7 still demands respect. Miami has invested heavily in this group, and it shows in the talent. On the defensive line, you've got Zach Sealer, one of the most underrated interior defenders in the league. He's productive against both the run and the pass, and just got paid for a reason. Kenneth Grant, their first-round pick, brings power and athleticism inside. Jordan Phillips, the other one, not the former Bill, is a rookie with good size, and they've rotated in Matthew Butler for his quickness. That group has the potential to be disruptive, especially if the game stays close and they can pin their ears back. The edges are where Miami really shines. Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips are both back from injury. Chubb is a veteran with power and experience. Phillips is one of the most explosive young pass rushers in the game. And if that's not enough, they've added Chop Robinson, a freak athlete and first-round pick, and veteran Matthew Judon. That's 4 edge rushers they'll rotate throughout the game, keeping legs fresh and throwing different looks at the quarterback. The talent is real. The question is, can they get home in time? Because so far, the answer has been no. Miami's defense is getting tired. They've played over Cento Eternus snaps through 2 games. That's an enormous number. 6 of their defenders have logged 99 or more snaps already. For comparison, the Bills' defense has only been on the field for Novena et Oito total snaps. That's a massive gap. The wear and tear is going to show, especially on a short week. The Bills, meanwhile, were resting starters in the fourth quarter last Sunday. That matters. If you're Buffalo, this is the moment to apply pressure. Run tempo, get the defense on its heels, and don't let them sub. Wear them down. Even if you're not ripping off chunk plays in the first quarter, you're setting up those back-breaking moments in the second half when fatigue sets in and the coverage breaks down. Keep pounding away and the cracks will show. Josh Allen, in particular, is in a perfect spot to thrive here. He's got a fully healthy receiving core. Stephon Diggs can take advantage of any corner you line up across from him. Gabe Davis can stretch the field against these slower DBs. And the Bills' tight ends, Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox, should have opportunities over the middle, especially if Miami continues to blitz and leave the intermediate area vulnerable. James Cook out of the backfield against a backup safety or a linebacker like Dotson. That's a mismatch Buffalo has to exploit. The other key here is pass protection. It's not just about blocking Chubb or Phillips. It's about identifying where the blitz is coming from and making sure Allen has time to process. The Dolphins are sending heat to try and mask their flaws. That opens them up for big plays, but only if the protection holds. The Bills' offensive line has been average in pass pro through 2 games. That needs to be better Thursday night. Communication will be critical, especially with all the stunts and disguise pressures Miami likes to bring. Pick it up clean, and there's going to be space downfield. And once you get them on their heels, finish. The red zone is where this Bills offense needs to shine. Miami has allowed touchdowns on 60% of opponent trips inside the 20. That's middle of the pack statistically, but situationally, they've been exposed. The Patriots punched it in multiple times. Buffalo has to be aggressive down there. Don't settle. Put this team away. On special teams, Miami is holding it together, but just barely. Their kicker is Riley Patterson, filling in for the injured Jason Sanders. He's been solid, hitting all his kicks so far, but this is his 6th team since Doy's Millie Vinny Yum. That tells you he's not exactly locked in long term. Their punter, Jake Bailey, is a known commodity, but he's below average by NFL standards. The only reason he's still around is because he's a good holder. Before we dive back in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest Buffalo Bills updates straight to your screen. And hey, don't hold back. Let us know your thoughts on today's news down in the comments. In a move that has sent shockwaves across the NFL, rumors are swirling that Josh Allen, the electrifying quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, may be hanging up his cleats sooner than anyone expected. Sources close to the star player have hinted at a potential retirement, leaving fans, analysts, and even rival teams in utter disbelief. Known for his cannon arm and breathtaking mobility, Allen has been a cornerstone of the Bills' offense, and the very idea of him stepping away from the game has ignited feverish speculation across social media and sports talk shows. Insiders suggest that the 28-year-old quarterback, who has led the Bills to multiple playoff appearances and cemented himself as one of the league's premier talents, might be considering a life beyond football. While no official announcement has been made, Whispers from the Bills' inner circle indicate that Allen has been contemplating this decision for some time, weighing the physical toll of the sport against his personal life and future ambitions. Fans have reacted with a mix of shock, denial, and sorrow, flooding online forums with tributes and disbelief at the notion that the young star could leave the NFL at the height of his career. The timing of this potential retirement adds another layer of intrigue. With the Bills poised as Super Bowl contenders and Allen in peak form, speculation is rife about what could motivate such a drastic move. Could it be injuries quietly affecting his performance, or perhaps an opportunity outside of football that he cannot ignore? Some suggest that Allen's decision, if true, could spark a ripple effect across the league as teams scramble to adjust to a future without one of the most dynamic quarterbacks of his generation. While the NFL world holds its collective breath, all eyes are on the Bills camp for any confirmation or denial. Until then, the rumor mill churns at full speed, with analysts dissecting every social media post, interview, and sideline glance for signs of truth. One thing is certain. If Josh Allen truly retires, it would mark one of the most stunning exits in recent NFL history, forever changing the landscape of professional football. Fans and pundits alike can only wait, speculate, and hope that the news is not as shocking as it currently seems. That's a wrap for now. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay on top of all things Buffalo Bills, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what you think in the comments. See you in the next update.